What's up guys? How you doing? Let's get straight to it. This is episode 3 of my story, graduating. Enjoy. Okay, so we graduate from the University of Brighton in June 2008 with a degree in sports and leisure management, and just before I graduated I got offered 2 different positions. One was to become a multi-skilled sports coach for a South London school network, and the other was to become a researcher for Sport England, or a contractor of Sport England, which I took up. So I actually spent 2.5 years after my time at Brighton Uni as a researcher for a national project called Active Places, and so we were researching sports facilities across the UK and basically doing a 2-year audit on the quality of sports facilities right across the UK, which was pretty cool. I've made some fantastic friends at the Leisure Database, which was the company, and we're still friends for life. Like, we've got a great little group, and a few of them actually live really close to me now, which is really nice. And Lou particularly is a wonderful friend who I see every so often for coffee. So I've made some really great friends there. And what it actually meant in practice was that we spent basically 8 hours a day on Google Earth. And so when I wasn't sort of zooming in to work out, different pitch markings and leisure facilities, I was always zooming out and thinking, wow, this Earth is just one big amazing playground. So it was actually 2008 where I started reading up on different adventurers and lifestyle adventurers, and all these different kind of expedition leaders who have gone out there and done it. And I'm starting to think at that time that perhaps I could take on a big adventure one day. So kind of that was when the plant was seeded in 2008. So we spent a couple of years there, and then I remember having dinner with Georgie one evening, and this gut feeling of qualifying as a skiing instructor was bubbling up under the surface. And I didn't really regret not doing it earlier in my life, but I always knew that I wanted to get my Basel Level 2 alpine skiing instructing qualification in the bag, which would give me the option to go and instruct up to 4 weeks basically every winter, which I've been really lucky to do pretty much since qualifying as a skiing instructor, which is what I did in January 2011. So we did a few years at the Leisure Database. I then head out to Val d'Isere and did 6 weeks, an intensive 6-week course to become a skiing instructor. And there were 110 of us out there at the time, and I would say that 10 of us really gave it everything we really had, everything we could possibly throw into it. Listening to every single word of our instructors, looking at all the video analysis stuff in the evenings, doing our theory and general practice. And I'm so pleased I did what I did. It costs a fair bit of money in order to do it. I had to work a second job, so I was doing 9 till 5 with the Sport England project, and then I went and worked in the sports bar for up to 4 evenings every single 4 times a week. I'm not going to say every single evening, am I? So there we go. So 9 till 5 at Leisure Database. Then I go and work at the sports bar for 4 evenings a week, all the while driving between London and East Sussex to see Georgie and my family. So it's a pretty full-on time, but I'm really pleased that I did it. Qualified as a skiing instructor, came back to the UK for 1 week, then went straight out to Italy, to Aosta, which is the valley I ran through, which is really strange. But I've pretty much instructed every season since then, so I'm very lucky to be able to live my dream in that sense. So when I came back from that particular winter, early 2011, this amazing opportunity came up at a business park in West London called Chiswick Park Enjoy Work, and there were 9,000 young professionals there with some multinational businesses, and I was the sports events manager. So every Wednesday we got an events plaza, and I would manage all the sports events and have pretty much a creative license to create any kind of sporting competitions or showcases that I wanted to deliver over the course of that particular summer in 2011, and I freaking loved it. It was an amazing job. I could really kind of let my creative juices fly, all the while delivering you know, the sports season and getting as many of those 9,000 people active on a Wednesday afternoon as possible. And it was an incredible position. And Vicky, if you're watching this, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for, you know, the support and mentoring that you gave me. She's a world-class events manager. Yeah, I'm really grateful to her support. That contract came to an end towards the end of that year, and the London 2012 games were vamping up, and I came across the position as a marketing executive to help a marketing agency look after Cadbury's delivery of their sponsorship of the 2012 games. So on paper it was an amazing opportunity, but in practice it was pretty dire. I didn't know what my role was. You know, I'd turn up every day and I didn't really have my parameters. I couldn't get my teeth into anything. I'd turn up, every day would be a different day, which you think could be a good thing, and perhaps it is, you know, in some places, but for me, I just couldn't get my teeth into my projects, you know, and so I couldn't get a grasp of anything, and I actually started getting pretty depressed. And I would probably say that the back end of 2011 in that particular role was the first time where I recognised that I was clinically depressed. It was terrible. It was a really terrible time, and Georgia will tell you, you know, if I wasn't working, I was pretty much lying in bed because I just didn't have any energy. There was no colour in my life, or in my outlook, I should say, you know, during that period, so it was pretty bad. And then towards the back end of 2011, again, I got offered 2 different opportunities. One was to go and work with my mother-in-law, and it would have been an amazing opportunity if it hadn't have been for this other amazing opportunity that came up with a youth snow sports charity. Can you believe that? So this position came up as a snow sports community manager and events manager at the time, like a combined role, and I knew that that was my role, and I didn't want that to go to anybody else. And I think any of you who have followed the adventure so far have seen how grateful I am to Dan Charlish particularly, and the Snow Camp team for welcoming me as part of the Snow Camp family for now over 5 years. So I started that position in 2012, January 2012, and we're going to leave this episode there. So there you go, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. That was episode 3, graduating, and the next episode, episode 4, we're going to call, oh my god, it's a tough one. It's a really tough one. When things started to escalate. How about that? So episode 4 is coming at you shortly, and it's going to be called When Things Started to Escalate. See you later.